Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Flipped Out Show. It's your host, Most King Truth, host Bird, Benny Bo, wants the word, wants the flow. Coming at you live, man, at 6:41. And it's gonna be some quick content. Sorry about that, y'all. It's gonna be some quick content. Beyonce music's stolen in Atlanta out of her choreographer's rental car. There's some hard drives in there, some unreleased music. It was stolen. This is the last week topic. I was just supposed to do it, but been a lot going on. So boom, we get right into it. We'll go right over here to my good guy, man. Bring the facts. Yo, go check out Bring the Facts, man. And appreciate everybody liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, hitting the notification bell so I know y'all there so I can throw it to you when it's in the air, man. And yeah, for sure. Shit, I'm in the process of moving this shit, so I'm excited for that day. Next week and shit, so we get this next weekend, next week, some of the next week or so.
Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Bring the Facts. We got a story today, man. And singer Beyonce, R&B singer Beyonce, Grammy Award winning Beyonce, Jay Z's wife Beyonce, she just got the worst news of her life. You ain't even gonna believe it. All her new unreleased music got stolen in Atlanta during a car burglary. Yup, she lost everything. She lost the plans for her concert because she's doing a concert, right? The Cowboy Carter concert. She's got a residency in downtown Atlanta. And anyway, she lost all the plans, all the choreography, all the contact information, everything. I'm gonna read a story. I'm gonna read the news report from the New York Times. I'm gonna read two of them. Yeah, second one's gonna be from AP News, but I'm gonna start with New York Times first. Unreleased Beyonce music stolen during Cowboy Carter tour in Atlanta. People say two members of Beyonce team said that their SUV was broken into on July 8th, just before the series of concerts in Atlanta, the authorities said. The police said a suspect has emerged. Two men who identified themselves as choreographer and a dancer for Beyonce told the police in Atlanta that hard drives containing unreleased music, concerts, set lists, and footage plans for shows were stolen from their rental SUV last week during a stop on the Cowboy Carter tour. The authorities said the man Christopher Grant and the other one's DeAndre Blue told police officers that they parked their rented 2024 Jeep Wagoneer for about an hour in a parking garage at Krog Street Market on July 8th, according to police. Someone broke the vehicle rear window, while it was unattended and made off with two suitcases full of hard drives and electronics. The men said that they also stole their personal belongings. See, that's wild. I don't. Yeah, they call that pulling. If you don't know, like people breaking in cars, like the language they use, they call it pulling. They call it pulling handles or pulling doors, some shit like that, where people try doors and see if they're open. But these people broke the window, so it wasn't really on like it wasn't really their fault because you can't really stop somebody from smashing your window and like stealing a whole bunch of stuff in your car unless you leave it like where it's like visible, you know. But that's wild. She just got the worst music of her life. I hope she has that music backed up. It could be a play, man. It actually could be a play, but the reason I don't think it's a play is because the police are involved. That's the only reason I don't think it's a play. But it could be a play. You never know. They could have stole that and then they go sell it on the dark web. Oh, what's his name? Little Uzi Vert. His Instagram got hacked by somebody. They sent him a phishing link, and the dude, he had it backed up to what's it called? It Microsoft OneDrive. He had all his music backed up to like online cloud storage, and somebody got sent him a phishing link, and he clicked it on Instagram. I think he did it by accident. He said, but I'm not sure. But anyways, he clicked the link, and anyways, it sent him a virus, right? And anyways, the virus was controlling his phone, and it stole his password, all his passwords on his phone. And he used his password to log into his OneDrive cloud account, and he stole all little Uzi Vert's music. And the guy who did it, he went to the feds for 24 18, either 18 to 24 months, just for stealing that music and doing that. Yup, yeah. That shit's serious, man. You never know. But I'm gonna read the other one. The other article is gonna be from AP News. Headline: Unreleased credit. AP News. Unreleased Beyonce music stolen during Cowboy Carter tour in Atlanta. Unreleased music by Beyonce, along with footage, show plans, and concert set lists, were stolen from a car in Atlanta rented by the singer's choreography and one of her dancers, according to the police. Uh, reported the incident according to a police incident report. That's a tongue twister. The theft of material stored on five thumb drives. Uh,
It could have been a play though to sell all the unreleased music on the dark web. That could have been, yeah, it could have been play. Or it could have been somebody that was just trying to sabotage the whole program, because a lot of people right now are trying to get at Jay. So maybe it was just somebody trying to spite Jay, go through Beyonce, spite Jay. I don't know.
happened on July 8th, 2 days before Beyonce began a 4 day residency at Atlanta's Mercedes Benz Stadium. Beyonce was set to take the stage Monday evening for her last night in the city. Atlanta Police Department said in a news release Monday it has secured an arrest warrant for a suspect whose identity is being withheld at this time. He is caught on surveillance. The two MacBook laptops, Apple headphones, as well as luxury clothing and accessories were also reported stolen, according to the incident report. Beyonce's choreographer, uh, Christopher Grant, and dancer DeAndre Blue told police that they parked their rental car, a 2024 Jeep Wagner, at a food floor in the city at about 8:09 p.m. The pair returned to the car just after 9 p.m. to discover the trunk window had been also damaged and two suitcases had been taken. Grant told the officers that he also carrying some personal sensitive information for the musician Beyonce, the police reported. See, you got to be careful of time. Especially Atlanta, especially like major cities, there's a lot of crackheads. And what they do is they go through parking garages, and this was actually extreme that they busted the window. Usually, what they do, I'm gonna tell you what dudes do, what they try to do when they're coming up on a lick like that, to try to do car burglaries. Usually, what they do is they just sit there and door handles until they find one that's open. They only bust the window unless they know something valuable's in there. So I can't really tell you if they got away in a car or not, but they said they got identified through what's call it through surveillance. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do about that. They better get rid of that music. But anyways, uh, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, what you waiting for? Chasing that bag. We're gonna run it up from 0 to 1,000. Peace.
Yeah,
That's all the choreography.
all right. See if there's anything else we can find on this.
Police have released new 911 calls after a car break-in reported from Beyoncé's team. APD says someone stole some of her unreleased music from a car at Atlanta's Krog Street Market. Brooke Zonner has the latest on this for us.
Atlanta police say the thieves got away with several items, including some unreleased music from the Grammy award-winning singer. This all happened days before Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour kicked off 4 shows here in Atlanta.
Someone broke into my car.
Just days before Grammy award-winning singer Beyoncé begins a 4-show run in Atlanta, thieves get away with several items belonging to the superstar. Atlanta police say the break-in happened at a parking deck for Krog Street Market last Tuesday. According to an incident report, Beyoncé's choreographer and one of her dancers parked in the deck for about an hour and came back to find the trunk window of their rented Jeep damaged and 2 suitcases gone.
I was parked at in a garage while I went to a restaurant, but they stole like my computers and everything, but it has a tracker on it.
The report says several hard drives were stolen that included watermarked and unreleased music for Beyoncé and footage plans for her shows.
It's following them because it's on Find My iPhone. They have my computers, and it's really, really important information in there. Like I work with someone who's like of a high status, and I really need the my computer and everything.
Police say cameras from the parking deck did capture the incident. Authorities also used the Find My app to search for a computer and a pair of missing headphones. Atlanta police are using the incident as a reminder to always remove valuables from your car. We're told officers also dusted for fingerprints at that scene, and they were able to recover 2 very light prints. There's also apparently a warrant out for a suspect, although they have not released that person's name. At the Fox 5 Live desk, I'm Brooke Zonner, Fox 5 News.
Thanks.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about AI color themes. You can get any combos you want, bold and bright, minimalist and sleek, or something you didn't even think of. Just describe the vibe you want, or even use the colors of your logo, and let AI do its thing. Beautiful. Next up is the AI section creator. This is great for those website essentials like a contact section or a place to subscribe.
Okay. I think that might be the only. Okay. Because we know I can dive with the audio, but there was on there like that about it. Check out this NBC.
Okay, to Atlanta now, in a major theft shaking up the music world. Atlanta police say hard drives containing unreleased Beyoncé music were stolen during a car break-in last week. The hard drives also included footage plans for Queen Bee's show and future set lists. For more on this, I want to bring in NBC's Priscilla Thompson, a proud member of the Beehive. Priscilla, thank you for this. So talk to us more about the break-in. I mean, this could be pretty huge, especially if it is all of Beyonce's stuff and they end up putting it somewhere on the internet.
Yeah, Tom, incredibly huge, especially for such a high-profile celebrity as Beyoncé. We have obtained the incident report that shows that this happened last Tuesday, just as she was kicking off her Atlanta leg of the Cowboy Carter tour. And it happened at Krog Street Market, which is this very popular food hall in Atlanta. Now, according to Beyonce's choreographer, Christopher Grant, and also a dancer, DeAndre Blue, they pulled into this market at around 8 o'clock at night. An hour later, they went out to the car and they noticed that the window towards the trunk was damaged. And they found that 2 suitcases were missing. And inside those suitcases were hard drives that contained watermarked music, unreleased music, footage plans for past and future shows, and also set list. We know that in addition to all of those very important things to Beyonce, I'm sure there were also laptops, headphones, different kinds of electronics. So lots of questions about why that would have been left in a vehicle in a parking garage, but definitely not something that such a high profile celebrity would want to fall into the wrong hands.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And Priscilla, do we think this was random, or do we think they were targeted? Like they knew these people worked for Beyonce?
That is definitely the big question. Now, police have not said whether it was random or targeted. But what is interesting that, you know, a lot of folks have the Find My app that connects all of their Apple electronics. And so police were actually able to ping the headphones and the computers, and they sent out like multiple units to this area. We know that they interviewed a man in this area and that they were also looking at a vehicle that appeared to be moving as the items that they were tracking were also moving. And what's more, there is video, police say, that this parking garage had video cameras. The entire incident was caught on video. We know that they took fingerprints at the garage, and police have said that they have issued a warrant for the arrest of the suspect, but they say that an ID is, quote, not yet available for release. So unclear if they have that identity and just aren't releasing it to the public yet. But obviously it comes as Beyonce is probably about to take the stage any minute now for her final concert in Atlanta before the tour moves on. Tom?
Yep. All right, Priscilla Thompson, we appreciate that reporting. We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
I know a little bit about this. Okay, so T Grizzly recently went live to respond to.
You need a towel?
Rumors that he got his auntie killed. So rumors were so.
I tested an AI life planner for 30 days, and here's what actually changed. For the last 30 days, I handed my schedule.
Okay, to Atlanta now.
Flashing lights inside Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour stop in Atlanta, spilling out into the streets for some fans.
The Escalade went out and everyone tumbled out.
As first responders raced to the scene of what police say was a stampede at the Metro rail station near Mercedes-Benz Stadium early Tuesday, just as thousands of fans were leaving the sold-out show.
That stampede was no joke. It was really, really scary.
9 people were injured, transit police say, most with cuts and scrapes, but one with a broken ankle. Police say a person began running and screaming, causing a stampede on the escalator. The escalator sped up and then stopped suddenly, sending riders crashing into one another.
I just looked up and I saw a wall of people just coming at me. You saw people falling down and no one was stopping.
Atlanta's Transit Authority says it's investigating. Another investigation is underway into who stole Queen Bee's unreleased music.
Someone broke into my car.
Newly released audio capturing the pop star's choreographer Christopher Grant's 911 call.
They stole like my computers and everything.
The break-in happened last Tuesday. Grant told police he and a dancer pulled into a parking garage near Atlanta's Krog Street Market around 8 p.m. An hour later, they returned to find 2 suitcases missing.
They have my computers, and it's really, really important information in there. Like I work with someone who's like of a high status.
Inside, Grant said, were Beyoncé's watermarked and unreleased music, along with footage plans and set lists for past and future shows.
How common is it for someone to have material like this just left in the car in a suitcase?
Not so common, but also they're on tour. Her shows are changing week to week, show by show. So the choreographer should have the materials.
Kelly Nicole Price co-wrote Beyoncé's Deja Vu and has spent decades in the industry. She says copyrights and password protection are all ways artists safeguard their music.
How likely is it that Beyoncé actually gets this material back?
I want to say it's very likely. As an artist, it is scary. It's your intellectual property. It feels like someone took your heart, but you can do it again and probably better.
Police say the heist was caught on camera. No word on if it was targeted. An arrest warrant has been issued for a suspect who remains at large, and their identity is not yet available for release. The tour now rolling to the next town, as tonight a tyrant remains on the loose.
All right, Priscilla Thompson joins us tonight. Priscilla, has any of that unreleased music shown up online yet? And what could the penalty be for this type of crime?
Yeah, Tom, we have been scouring the internet today. No signs of it posting online just yet. As for the penalties, whoever did this is looking at a criminal penalty potentially for the theft, and then also a penalty for copyright infringement should they choose to post it. And that would look like a civil lawsuit. So we're talking about not only criminal consequences, but also financial consequences. And as Beyoncé fans will tell you, though, even when she appears to lose, she is winning. Despite all of this going on today, she was nominated for 2 Emmys for that Christmas halftime performance. So exciting news there. And Tom, I've got to ask you, if you were to stumble upon this unreleased music, what do? Do you listen to it or do you return it immediately?
No, I steal it and I start my recording career like I've always wanted to. No, I don't know. Yeah, you have to give it back. You don't want to get sued by Beyonce, definitely. Priscilla, we thank you for those updates.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Editing your podcast on Riverside is a no-brainer, and I want to show you why. Your podcast transcript is here, and you just have to edit the text, and that will edit the podcast. Super simple. You'll never edit your podcast the old way again. No podcaster has the time to clean up an hour-long conversation. That's why God gave us AI. All these are ums and awkward silences. 2 clicks, and they're gone. And to help promote your show, Riverside finds all the best parts of your podcast and turns them into social clips automatically. I mean, why would you edit the old way when you can edit with Riverside? You got to check out Riverside. You can even start for free.
Oh, wait. If you were detained at any San Bernardino juvenile detention facility, such as High Desert or Gilbert Street,
This is the money glitch that's getting former detainees properly compensated. San Bernardino juvenile detention staff allegedly failed to properly protect youth from abuse, putting your safety at risk. And now a landmark lawsuit is forcing them to pay victims of sexual abuse and mistreatment. This isn't just talk. Under California law, over 600 former detainees have already filed lawsuits against state agencies. ABC News, Fox, CBS, and Associated Press are covering this because it's following the exact same pattern as the Catholic Church and Boy Scouts cases, where victims received up to $2.7 million each by first filling out a simple qualification form. Here's what most former detainees don't realize. If you've experienced any abuse during your detention, sexual assault, physical harm, threats, coercion, or worse, you may qualify for substantial compensation, but only if you act before attorneys submit the final class action lawsuit. After that, you are permanently excluded. 85% of eligible former detainees will miss this opportunity because they don't think their experience counts or they're waiting too long. It takes just 60 seconds to find out if you qualify. Click this ad now and answer 3 simple questions. Your information remains 100% confidential, and there are 0 upfront costs. The attorneys work on a contingency basis. They only get paid if you win. There are absolutely no hidden fees or obligations. You won't pay a single penny unless you receive compensation. You're not committing to anything by checking your eligibility, but you must verify your qualification before the deadline. Don't let the Department of Juvenile Services get away with putting your family and property at risk. Click now to see if you qualify for compensation. This page will be removed once the lawsuit moves forward.
NBC News has just confirmed that actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died at the age of 54. Authorities in Costa Rica telling NBC News that Warner accidentally drowned while swimming in the ocean on Sunday. Warner is best known for, of course, his Emmy-nominated role as Theo Huxtable, Cliff's son, on The Cosby Show.
Dad, for $30, I can't even get a Gordon Gartrell tie.
Well, what are you, a personal friend of this man? Now, you take $30 and get yourself a nice $30 shirt.
Could you make it 35?
I could make it nothing.
Mom, I'd grab it. You guys are ruining my life. But I don't mind.
NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas is here in studio with more. Also joining us is television host and entertainment journalist Shagun Oduolawu. Chloe, I'm going to start with you. What more do we know right now about the circumstances surrounding his death?
That's right. So, Sam, we know that this incident took place on Sunday in Costa Rica. He was on a family vacation. He was swimming off of the coast of a town called Cocles in the province of Limon. He was swimming at Playa Grande. I mean, I've visited Costa Rica a few times. I was there with my family a few years ago, and those currents can be very strong. And it appears that he died by drowning. Costa Rica's judicial investigation police confirming to NBC News that he was declared dead by the Red Cross and that some bystanders actually tried to come to his rescue. But unfortunately, it was too late. NBC News, we have reached out to his family for comment. He leaves behind his wife and a young daughter.
Wow. Tragic, and obviously so many details yet to come about the circumstances surrounding his death. First, I'm just going to pivot for a second to Shagun. As some of our younger viewers may not be familiar with his role on The Cosby Show, can you talk about the words Theo Huxtable, right? It's sort of historic and frozen in time as this iconic character. What did that mean for television, and what does it still mean to this day?
Sam, Theo Huxtable was me. Theo Huxtable was my brothers. Theo Huxtable was the first time someone that looked like me saw someone that looked like himself on television. He was the epitome of what we as kids, in a certain community were growing up, but he was also an American story. He was on the #1 sitcom in the 80s. He battled with his sisters. He disappointed his parents, and he was a cool guy all through it. We resonated with him. We related to him. His passing is so horrific because if you're a guy of a certain age, you feel like you just lost, like maybe your best friend, your brother, but someone you grew up with. Like the conversations that Theo Huxtable had on screen with Bill Cosby, his TV dad, are the same conversations that I, a child of immigrants, was having with my parents, right? Taking out the trash. They were high achievers. My dad had a PhD. My mom is a therapist. Bill Cosby on The Cosby Show is a doctor. Claire is a lawyer. And you're struggling on how you're going to achieve this kind of lifestyle they have for you. What they talked about is what we talked about in our home. It was this American story we related to. So his passing is so hard to fathom, because I've been talking to friends of mine and my brothers and even my sister, like, can you believe this guy is gone at the age of 54, so young, when he meant so much to us growing up?
It's just so interesting to hear, even years later, how it is still viewed, his role is still viewed through that lens, his natural charisma, the breaking of these racial tropes, everything that, Shagun, you just laid out. I do want to turn again to Chloe for a second. Have we heard it all from his co-stars or anyone else connected to Jamal?
It doesn't appear so, and that's because this news is just unfolding in real time. We are all just learning of this tragedy, but Magic Johnson just taking to X moments ago saying that he and his wife are so sad to hear about the passing of our dear friend, Malcolm Jamal Warner. We were both super fans of the hit Cosby Show. That just what you heard from Yagoon, right? I mean, this is a show that is played in countries on rerun a million times over, right? I mean, there are a few people that you know in the world by first name and also by the name of the show. You know, Coca-Cola, you know, the Cosby Show, right? And he is one of those individuals that goes down in pop culture history. But again, I mean, just the nicest things that Magic Johnson just posted, saying that he's praying for his family and the close friends during this difficult time. We've reached out to his former Cosby Show co-stars and we haven't heard back. I'm sure it's a lot to process in this moment.
It's also interesting to hear Magic Johnson as someone else who shifted cultural paradigms, transparency, conversations with families in the 80s and 90s.
And one of the first to speak out, right?
Absolutely. Great point on that. Shagun, can you tell us more about Warner's career beyond just the Cosby Show in those years? He was actually in the public eye for a very long time.
Yes, he was. I mean, younger audiences might know him from the show about the show on O.J. Simpson, where he played the getaway driver in the white Bronco. But he was an artist. He won a Grammy. Like, he was on Def Poetry Jam. He had this incredible smile, this incredible voice, and he used it. He kept his life off screen rather private, and much to his credit, the little we know about him is what we saw on screen. And that's why I think it's so shocking for everyone, because everyone interacted with him through this lens of the screen, right? Like, we know him because either through an interview or something that he said, but never necessarily like in scandal, like Malcolm Jamal Warner outside paparazzi. That wasn't him. He was so classy, so just such a put together person that we wanted to emulate. I can't stress enough how much I wanted to emulate Malcolm Jamal Warner, watching him on the Cosby Show, and then afterwards, the friends that he had on the show, the way he interacted and laughed, and then when you saw him, that ready smile, that deep voice, and that just confidence, like it was something to emulate, to be sought after. And so off screen, he's become, just this figure that, as you said, you know him by the show and you know him by his name, and don't need any more.
It was such a unique role. Do you think, did he discuss, Jamal, in any way how he felt typecast over the years trying to move on professionally beyond just those 8 years on The Cosby Show?
There were conversations about us only seeing him as Theo. And so certain roles that he took after the show, you could see they were a little bit more mature. The Cosby Show never dealt with risque topics, or there was a wholesome quality to the Cosby Show, and some of his later roles were more adult. But I want also to stress, he was on the Cosby Show as a young teen himself, which is rare in television. Usually kids, when you see a TV kid, is being played by someone who's in their 20s and 30s, like on 90210. He wasn't an adult. We were watching this guy grow up in real time. And so the roles that he took later from the Cosby Show were that of an adult who's kind of grown into them. So it kind of made sense, the progression of the show and his career.
Such important historical context. Shagun Oduwalu, thank you so much for taking the time today. Chloe Malas as well, with your valuable reporting. Appreciate you both. We will have much more on all of our platforms throughout the day.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, this is Dope Tech from Wix. Now, this whole flow is a conversation, so your words actually build your website. I'm going for a store. And after a free-flowing conversation, I get this detailed site brief. And just like that, my first draft is ready. Now that's dope. Next, you can really get in there and style it your way. Here's the fun part. You can regenerate this whole thing over and over, or you can tweak something specific like your layout. Let me describe what I had in mind. Yeah, that's fire. If there was ever a time to speak life into your dreams, it's right now using the Wix AI website builder.
We all have one. The junk drawer. Holder of all things. Like that old phone you don't know what to do with. Instead of letting its value go down, recycle it. Not only are you helping the environment, you get paid too. Recycle the mess. Wait and earn less. Get a free quote at ecoatm.com.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, along with podcast co-host, award-winning journalist Candace Kelly. So great to meet both of you guys.
Hey. Good to see you.
So a podcast.
Yeah.
You needed another venue to have something. You're going to just take over all mediums. The name, Not All Hood.
Yes. Well, actually, Not All Hood was the name came from our third host, Wayusi Baraka, and the reason for the title is combating the narrative of Black life, Black culture that the media focuses on, and
that we're all one thing.
Yeah, and the whole concept is we're not all hood. The Black community is not a monolith. There's so many levels and lanes to the Black community, and we wanted to have a space where we could acknowledge, discuss all of those lanes, because they're so varied in terms of our perspectives and our opinions and our ways of life, and we wanted to be able to have a place where we can talk about all of those things, discuss all of those things, and shed light on the not all hood aspects of who we are.
All right. And Candace, look, you do this a lot.
Yeah.
You got a lot to say.
I do.
Oh, she got chills.
But for a podcast, that's a good thing.
Right. For the
Why
time.
do you want to be a part of this?
You know what? When we first started talking, we talked about it, not even with my involvement being on air. Just my involvement in the project was just an interesting part of the whole thing. But then we got in a conversation for about, 60, 90 minutes, all of us. And then we thought, you know what? This is really coming. Well, I guess y'all said that after you got off the phone. And so maybe she should join us. And especially, since I do like to talk about different subjects and have been for so long. And certainly he has too. And so that's really how it came together. And we just talked really about kind of this master narrative that exists out there, that when we tell our stories and share our stories, we can really counter by just really sitting down and